Yeah. Yeah. That's what you owe me down about. That's what you owe me.
So we got all right, a couple people. Jam, Master Student, Free to Be Me, 793rd. Think we got to do the each one teach one and get some more of the What Did I Miss crew in here. What is the Bizio? Nice. All right, one sincere. Showing all my people today. Halftime. Well, I guess we have to just get started without them. They'll have to go back and check the beginning. So, I guess before we get started, you got any questions from the last lives or classes? Has everything been so crystal clear that no one has a question? Anyone? Buick? Am I, can everyone hear me? Am I experiencing lag time again? In this here civilization class? The word strength. So master student say you got a question about the alphabet. And your question is? All right. Sun God. The alphabet for today. Well, you know, this is actually you see, when we deal with really all the degrees, you know what I'm saying? Like, we deal with the 110, uh, the 114, uh, the supreme alphabet. You're dealing with the actual facts of the solar facts, right? We see that it's less degrees than it is days in a month. And see, when you're dealing with living mathematics, so you got mathematical principle, which is all the elements that you use, right, in order to build mathematics. You know, from knowledge to born and cipher, those are the elements that you use to make any number that you can conceive, right? But then you have living mathematics, which is, uh, you know, not just the elements. See, in living mathematics, you can't go from a higher number to a lower number. So, like for instance, well, let me just continue what I'm saying. You can't go from a higher number to a lower number. The audio just got distorted. Somebody just said that. That time said I started breaking up as soon as hold on, let me see if I can make a solution for this here. All right, we got to work on. We'll be getting a picture back in a few minutes. In the meantime, let's let some things run its course. So you can. Am I back? Are you hearing me? So we starting over from alphabet, right? Is that correct? Is anyone out there? Where are we starting? Just start over. All right. Well, like I said, you know, whenever you're dealing with the degrees, right, and you have when you're dealing with the 1 to 10, the 1 to 14, the actual facts, the solar facts, and the supreme alphabet, right? The thing is,
you have 30 days in a month, and none of those degrees have 30 lessons in it. None of those lessons have 30 degrees in it. You see what I'm saying? So anytime you're dealing with numbers, right, we taught to add and multiply. Because when you add and multiply the numbers together, there's other keys. You understand what I'm saying? To understanding, there's other keys to understanding that you will be led to if you add those numbers together. You see what I'm saying? But you got to remember this, that you have mathematical principle and you have living mathematics. See, and mathematical principle is just 1 to 9 and 0. These are the elements that you need in order to form any number, right? High or low. You know, they all consist of knowledge to born and 0, right? Knowledge to born and cypher, pardon. But when you deal with living mathematics, right? When you deal with mathematical principle, what comes after born? God supreme, man. All right, now see, master student and Jam, they right now they're illuminating the situation. Now, master student said after you go to born, right, in mathematical principle, it goes to knowledge. And Jam said it goes to knowledge at a cypher. See, what master student answered was the question the way I asked it. In mathematical principle, what comes back, it goes from knowledge to born and born back to knowledge. Now, Jam said it goes to knowledge born, then it goes to knowledge at a cypher. See, let's look at this as if it was your age, right? Let's say we talking about your age and you was 9 years old yesterday. See, you cannot go back to being 1 year old. But what you can do is gain some insight on being 10 by adding the 1 and the 0 together, right? You add the knowledge and the cipher together, right? And it comes back to knowledge. Now that's going to give you some extra clues, right? It's going to give you some extra keys to understand knowledge at a cipher. You get extra keys to understand that, but you cannot go back to being knowledge. The same way if you say, right, you was wisdom equality years old, right? You can't go from wisdom equality to being born years old. But what you can do is get some clues to understanding what being 27 might be about by adding the 2 and the 7. So in these situations, like you're saying today, right, we, you know, right, born the 2 and the 7, right? And then we see it's 9. Now, I can't remember, somebody said it says EYE or Islam. I don't have EIE and EYE in mine. I just got I. You see what I'm saying? But in all reality, once you pass the last degree, that degree is expired. See, like if you're dealing with the 1 to 10, once you pass the 10th degree, right, that degree is expired. Because the reality is this, you know, the next day you say it's knowledge, right? And knowledge is all being born in wisdom, but you already built on wisdom this month. You already built on who's the colored man. If you passed the 10th day, you had to build on who's the colored man on the 2nd day. So in all reality, that degree expired. In terms of the knowledge and wisdom that degree has to offer, you're not going to get nothing. You're not going to get no more knowledge and wisdom from that degree, right, on the 11th than you got on the 2nd. What you can do, right, is gain some more understanding, though. I'm saying I've seen EYE and I, you know what I'm saying? You know, in terms of understanding it. Now I'm not, you know, that type of language, you know, when people start doing that, you know, you know, for me personally, you saying something else. Like EYE and I is 2 different things. You know, person could draw it up, they gotta draw it up the way they got it, I guess, but you know, once we start getting into the, you know, alternate languages and stuff like that, like see, Asiatic mathematics, he like that kind of stuff. But I already told people, look, I got enough trouble understanding the regular English. So, you know, indeed, we born the the mathematics, right? And we manifest that, or you know, I born the mathematics and I manifest that other key to understanding it, right? So say the question at hand, you know, yeah, if you ask me today's alphabet, I'm gonna say I. But you still must, you know, there's a something important there about understanding living mathematics. That living mathematics can't go backwards. Asiatic mathematics said you could take it to the born degree in the alphabet or the knowledge build degree. I mean, I would do that step by step though. Like, you know, if somebody asks you today's degree in the somebody asks you today's degree in the alphabet and you said ruler, you know, it would throw a lot of people off. But if in the course of you building, right, you say, well, today's mathematics born is born, you know what I mean? And the knowledge builder Greek and the supreme alphabet is ruler, that also born is born, and that coincides in this way. But, you know, that's another very important thing. You see what I'm saying? You know, when you don't realize that, then you get into wanting to change your lessons. You know, wanting to change the lessons when you can't separate what's the knowledge and wisdom that's written on this paper versus the understanding that you're gaining from it. But indeed, that's another thing. That's what happens. Whenever whenever you born in numbers, whether you deal with addition or whether you deal with multiplication, right? You get more keys on how to understand it. Luke Cage, Universal Truth, said history renewed is not history relived. Yeah, I'm not sure what made you bring that sentiment out, but that's actual. Halftime said, a brother who taught me a lot said to me, always forward, never backwards, in response during a similar conversation. Yeah, you can't really, look at it this way. You could never be negative 25 years old. You understand what I'm saying? That's a concept. Kareem, we got Siri in the building. What are you saying here? If you miss a class, you should never watch it. We got knowledge. Knowledge came in. I guess we're finally starting to pick up the pace here. Yeah, absolutely. Universal truth. I see what you were saying. Adding on to how we don't go backwards in supreme mathematics, we go forwards. And it's like you put mathematics right there. You really have to clarify, supreme mathematics. See, because like I said, what separates supreme mathematics, from just plain mathematics or arithmetic, right, is that it has meaning. So the same way we say, look, you could never go back to not knowing that the black man is God. You could go back to not accepting it. But, I saw an individual today, and, he had a cross on. And he was telling me how he knew, some of the older guys and everything. And then he saw me look at the cross on his chest, and then he started telling me that, don't mind this, this is recent, but, for years, he told me his Muslim name and how he studied, religious Islam and things of that nature. But at the same time, even he had to admit, I know what's going on over here. But I just went back to accepting Jesus Christ as my Savior. See, you can't unspill the milk. Every mathematics that you deal with is the red pill. Luke said, did you ever do the show on the different ways Yakub is spelled in the lessons? Calm as long, he says, sound like Nas. Now the 7 Supreme came in. What Nas? Well, I think we went into it, basically, however you see Yakub spelled is a question. You understand what I'm saying? So, right there, the way you spell it is YLACUB. You got another way you will see it, YLAC the cypher B. Now, who's the U and who's the cypher? See, a lot of times you got to identify the simplest elements, just like when it says, and what year was that? Well, what's that? You got to know what that is in order to say what year it was. So what's the cipher, right? When it says YLAC the cipher B, and who's the U when it says YLACUB? Knowledge Born came in. Oh man, calm as long. You starting out with the shots early today, I see. Wordsmith says, speaking on today's math, I have a physical dictionary that has this definition for Aegean. Aegean of relating to the first great European civilization, 3500 to 1400 BC, that flourished on Crete and nearby islands during the Bronze Age. The reason why that intrigued me was because the island of Patmos. Yeah, you gotta add on there. Y'all know I'm very simple-minded, so you gotta sometimes spell out what the question is. Luke Cage. You asked a question here. Is that, when you say, is that in a particular degree you're dealing with to apply it, or in general, is your question, is the answer in the degrees? State of the art just snuck in here. Asiatic mathematics says that the definition for Aegean says it was the first great European civilization, and the lessons say that area is where the devil was manufactured. I mean, yeah, these things, like I said, Sleep on Elijah if you want, man. You know, I'm not a follower of Elijah. We all know this. You know, but I definitely did my video where I said, don't change the lessons, Holmes. Keep doing your research. But, you know, Elijah in his third grade education was quite knowledgeable. Yeah, I'm waiting on Luke Cage to respond. When you say, is that in the particular degree you're dealing with, which particular degree you mean by that? Oh, hold on, let me see if I get the picture back up now too. You know, I gotta call the guy cool, man. I don't know why I know what it is, man. I keep having a whole bunch of stuff to do. I gotta call a lot of people back. So Jammy Jam said, would you still take it to Born even in the 1 to 40? No, because the 1 to 40 doesn't expire in the course of a month. Hold on, I'm about to do something now. Y'all tell me if the sound comes back up here. All right. Is the mic on? Can you hear me now? All right. So but no, you don't take it to Born in the 1 to 40 because the 1 to 40 doesn't expire in the course of a month. But the 140 should expire, you know, if all goes well, the 1 to 40 will expire in the course of your lifetime. See, remember, all those mathematics count too. See, that's why we ask, what is your physical degree? Because your physical degree is your mathematics for the whole year. For the whole year, whatever that age is going to apply to you specifically. Now you got some brothers who say, look, you know, they offer lessons now. They don't have to build on lessons no more. I don't see it that way, you know. And apparently, Allah didn't see it that way because he was free knowledge. And by all accounts, he quoted his lessons poetically, you know, until June 13th, 1969.
So yeah, Jammy Jam also asked this question right here. There's only 30 days, 31 days in the at most in a month. How often do you build on the other degrees? It depends on how often you build. And see, one thing you notice about those degrees, man, once you get to 32, see, this is only for the true and living. See, swimming back 9,000 miles, that's something that's only capable by the true and living. See what I'm saying? All that about recognizing who a real devil is and being able to take them off the planet, see, that's only accessible to the true and living. So see, if you truly building, then yeah, you get to those parts. You get to those parts where it asks you about what will be your rewards in regards to destruction of the devil. But if you ain't building like that, no, you ain't never gonna be discussing that. You ain't never gonna be discussing swimming back 9,000 miles if you ain't in the water. See, once you get there, you gotta take the life vest off. See, once you get to 32, that's all about what you gonna do. In the 136 and the 140. But now, if you're looking for a way, you know what I mean, you can apply that in your Brownsville method. You apply that in your Brownsville method. So you deal with the understanding equality, you deal with the understanding equality degree today. Because it what? It born's born. If you want to put that in your Brownsville method, to stay on point with it, you know, while you study it. You see what I'm saying? And then throughout the course of the month, you're going to hit all those degrees, right? From 32, right? Let's say you're dealing with the power day, or you're dealing with the knowledge culture day. Then you also quote the understanding wisdom degree, you know, when you're doing your Brownsville method. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if you just going over today's degree, you know what I'm saying? Like many of us, including myself, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I get up, or, you know, at just some point while I'm getting everything together, you understand what I'm saying? You know, I deal with, you know, going through my lessons for the day. You know, some days I quote the whole 120, depending on, you know, what's going on. So universal truth said Elijah having a third grade education is referring to what he was given by the school system, not what he gained by his own research. Is that the right understanding? Well, one only learns what one teaches self. You understand what I'm saying? You know, there's a difference between schooling and education. You know, there's a difference between uh, education and intelligence. You know, that's something that is mistaken a lot today. You know, you went to college. That doesn't mean you're smart. You know, I mean, you know, you gotta give the person a certain degree of credit for intelligence. You didn't get caught up, right, in something where you couldn't go to college. That takes intelligence. But you know, how many degrees you got doesn't necessarily signify your intelligence. You know what I mean? You know, it may signify a certain kind of intelligence. if you consider the ability to retain information, right, and uh, you know, be able to reproduce that information in the right form when the right question is asked. But there's different ways to look at that. You know what I'm saying? Once you start drawing it up, for the brothers that they like to say that Elijah Muhammad was a Mason. There's a certain understanding to that too, within saying third grade education. But that's once you start drawing it up. Yeah, knowledge. I mean, knowledge born was saying, when I said if all goes well, you know, in life, your physical age, you're gonna go past 40. But let's face it, we know a lot of people. You know, hopefully we don't know that many people, but we all know some people that they never got to what would be their rewards. Supreme Man said, "You don't govern how you go through your degrees by days in a month. That's just a daily reminder that everything is mathematically related. Go through all your lessons daily, multiple times as possible." So yeah, this is what I was saying in terms of, you know, when you're learning it, if you want to apply the Brownsville method to it, right? You got to be able to, like I said, use those keys. The case of the Law C Universal and the Law C cipher, that pronunciation applies to that particular degree it's in. And Allah C Universal. Yeah, I'm not understanding. Allah C cipher. Allah C Universal. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying, dude. Same guy said, "What's going on with the Wi-Fi?" Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to brothers about that. I don't know. Yeah, I've been having bad. I don't administer the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna have to build the God on that. Hopefully, it smooths out for the rest of the night. One half of the L brothers. Master student said, "But when we go into school, we don't have that understanding of values." What do you mean? Kareem said, "Yes, Elijah was a Mason, brother." I mean, I don't, I don't doubt it, but all these different things, you know, some things, that you gotta realize. Some people is curious about some things, other people is curious about other things. You understand what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times it's like, all right, Elijah got his history. It is whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's like, you know, people present it like it's a gotcha moment. Like, aha, Elijah was Masonic. As if that means that supreme mathematics, is anything, Okay, wait a minute. So Luke Cage. I think I see what you're saying now. See, while I see you be, and while I see the cipher be, is two of the three ways that you see Elijah Muhammad spelling Yakub. So the wordsmith said Elijah said he was a Mason himself in his book on Freemasonry. I don't think I read his book on Freemasonry. Uh, you know, I mean, Elijah was, at the end of the day, almost everybody claims Elijah for their own. From Morris Science, the Garveyites, Nation of Israel. You know what I mean? Everybody claims Elijah is there. Brilliant elevation. But Luke Cage did those differences in spelling, right? It depends on what degrees you got. And just throughout all of his writings, you see that that's two of the three ways. See, I left out the third way because, I think that might make it too easy. Universal Truth said, I used to think the different spellings of names and the lessons were mistakes made by brothers who wrote their own spelling in my tree. I mean, that's a possibility too. Jamshed, you said you was just going to ask what? Peace, man.
You got a cramp?
Mm-hmm.
Do that work, all right? Peace. Just gonna step over there for a minute. That's peace.
He Kareem said that was a book put together by the what's that, Memphis Publications? What's that? Memphis publication that usually takes his works and makes little books out of it, but it's not one of his original books. Oh, okay. That's why I'm not familiar with it. Right now, I was born, said Elijah was Mason, so what? The man did his job. Everybody was wondering what's the third way. See, but when I tell you the third way, right, then it's going to make it very easy for you to see who what the cipher is and who you are. When they say why Allah see the cipher be, right? Why Allah see you be, and then it's why Allah can you be. So now, who's the you and who's the cipher? The wordsmith said there's really nothing wrong with Freemasonry in itself,
they have good and bad, just like any fraternity. I mean, but who you talking about? You talking about Prince Hall, or you talking about, Pike and these other, Illuminati type people. It depends on who you're speaking on. You know what I mean? And just as an organization, you got to remember, uh, not everybody is privy to everything. Okay, so let me help you out. We not going because this is, we got a lot of new people. Luke Cage. We got to go into this another time. But I'm gonna. Here's a clue. Why Allah CUB? I'm not saying it's just one way to draw this up. But why Allah CUB is the understanding build degree in the 140. Do I have any of my high scientists here that's up to that degree? Universal Truth said Illuminati is a society within the Masons, not the Masons themselves. Illuminati is a separate organization. We put in the term Mason on a lot of different people. Great Elevation said, "Why Allah see you be the devil?" No. What is the understanding build degree? Now, see, Asiatic mathematics hit on something here, right? Hopefully, somebody is going through this understanding build degree for me right now, so we can, we want to just sort of clarify just a little bit, because this, I don't want to take you out down the rabbit hole, because ever since I first heard these questions, it's always been a rabbit hole. Like I said, we got a lot of new brothers, not new brothers, but we got a lot of brothers that. We got a lot of brothers that, they just coming into the knowledge. But Asiatic mathematics, you see, all of these Masonic organizations, right? Whether it's Illuminati, the Masons, whatever it is, right, was a European thing. That in Europe, the power existed between the Catholic Church and it existed between the Catholic Church and the monarchs, the monarchies, the royal families. That's who controlled all of the power in Europe. And so certain people made alliances in order to break through that. You see what I'm saying?
And those alliances was continued over here to North America. You know what I'm saying? And when they continue, you know, when they seized power, they didn't seize it for all the people, they seized it for themselves. And see, in every army, you got captains, lieutenants, and private soldiers. So see, the people on the first degree, they the private soldiers. They don't know. They just dare to march and make it look like it's a whole bunch of people. They go to Atlantic City, you know, they go to the dances, but they not a part of decisions that's being made. Who's gonna be oppressed and who's not. And then you got all the way up to the captains and the people who really sit down and make these plans about how power's gonna go and how it's not gonna go. Right. Now look, a couple people hit now the question, why did God make devil? Right? But see, now it's born. Now it's born is seeing what I'm saying. Go into the answer, someone. Anyone? Bueller. Go into the answer. Right. Now see, Asiatic mathematics, you said they left the Jesuit order and started their own thing. Exactly. The Jesuit order was a part of the Catholic Church. Okay, Jammy Jam said Allah shows and proves his power to what? Like pulling teeth with y'all here. To show and prove that God masters himself, he masters the universe. Okay, that he is all wise and righteous. And anyone? To show forth and prove his power that he's all wise and righteous. And six days. And then destroy the devil in one day without falling victim to the devil's civilization. Right? That he can make a devil, which is weak and wicked, given the power to rule the earth for 6,000 years, and then destroy the devil in one day without falling victim to the devil's civilization. Now, let's go back to the story of why Yakub did what he did. Let's go back to the whole science of Yakub now. We know what the understanding Bill degree says, right? About why did God make devil. But now, what does it say in particular about why Yakub made the devil? Supreme Man said to himself and others, Allah is arm, leg, arm, head. If the arms and leg shows what's in the arms and legs, show what's in the head. Right, wise you finally came with it. Make a devil, which is well, you got five, which is weak and wicked, and give him the power to rule the earth for 6,000 years, and then destroy the devil in one day without falling victim to the devil's civilization. This is just wait. How did we get back to you being the devil? Can anyone tell me in the story, right? Why was it deemed? Why was it written for Yakub to make the devil? Qam Islami said he was a big-headed, aka big ego. But why did they allow Yakub to make the devil? True Self said predetermined idea. Absolutely, it was a predetermined idea, right? But why did the king, right, allow him to continue? Right, it was written. But okay, well, because I don't. It was predicted he was going to make the devil. But why was it predicted that he was going to make the devil? To make a people that was different and rule for 6,000 years. Well, okay, let's start here. I see y'all got to be brushed up on the story about Yakub here, man. Why was the 30% dissatisfied? Right. Now, okay, brilliant elevation put dissatisfaction. Asiatic mathematics say Yakub's uncle could have put a stop to it when he saw him playing with the steel. Now, why didn't he do that? Yeah, Supreme Man, Supreme Man, they know the answer. I don't know why it's so hard to come out to them. Supreme Man said, I'm gonna let the students answer this question because y'all know the answer. Qam Islam, he said they wanted more than what they had already. See, you gotta remember the 30% was dissatisfied because the wisdom was being held above their heads by the 70%. See, it said the 70% was satisfied. It didn't say they was righteous. It's not the same thing. It said the 70% was satisfied. It didn't say they was righteous. And the devil was made to demonstrate to the original man what the devilishment that he was doing is. But now, because it's a other man, right, that's doing the devilishment, you're not connected to it. See, when you doing devilishment yourself, then you connected to it. You got a reason to justify it. Or you doing it because you starving. Or you doing it because, the neighborhood. Or you doing it because of this, but it's not really devilishment. You know what I'm saying? But now when you see this devilishment being connected, being committed by somebody on the outside, you can see it clearly what a real devil is and what real devilishment is. Does anybody remember that part? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Thomas Lonnie said that they know Yakub would be successful. Even after he was successful, they didn't kill the devils, only exiled him. What do you mean did they know he was going to be successful? That was up to Yakub. But does anybody remember that part in the story of Yakub? Because I'm trying to go back full circle here, but I don't want to lose you. I be infinite. Peace. Well, I guess maybe y'all don't remember that part of the story. You know what I'm saying? But now that I told you that part of the story, now go back and match that up with the understand and build degree. Whoa, Jarrell Boylan. You said all the prophets have tried to reform the devil but were unable to, so they agreed to graft him back. Not exactly. See, when you agree to graft the devil back, right, that's when you go have a baby with a white woman. See, what it says is they agreed that it cannot be done unless he was grafted back into the original man, which takes 600 years. And then it says, so they decided to take him off our planet, who only numbers 1 to every 11 original people. So it doesn't necessarily say they agreed, but it says they decided to take him off the planet. Coleman's Lonnie said if they kill Yakub, the 30% would revolt and there would be chaos. I don't know about the 30% revolting. you know. But if they killed Yakub, then there would have been somebody else to do it. Because remember, these people, like I said, they produced by the people and they produced by the time. You know what I'm saying? When I say the time, I shouldn't say the time, the times meaning the conditions of the people. Like if it wasn't no Jim Crow, it probably wouldn't have been Martin Luther King. You know, and you can look at any one of those situations. You know, if there was no slavery, most likely we wouldn't have had a Harriet Tubman. You know, not saying that Harriet Tubman never would have existed and she wouldn't have did great things, but why would you be freeing slaves if there was no slaves? So those conditions and those times still would have produced that outcome. I mean, well, Jarrell Boylan, I'm going to say this to you. Just like in the 10th degree, right? When you see that some center man agreed, you got the center man who agreed, and you got the center man that searched for trains of years. You got the center man that decided it takes too long, and you got the center man that decided to do it anyway. See, Supreme Man, I don't want him to pull the bus out. I don't want him to pull the bus out into this pedestrian traffic right here. But Supreme Man, he tell you, you got some brothers that, you know, they took 200 years off they yeah, they set themselves back, man, with that first 200 years right there. I'll be infinite said dissatisfaction brings about a change. Exactly. Wait. Okay, let me maybe I need to. Why Allah see you be right? Let me see if I can simplify it, because y'all are complicating this thing. You see, why Allah see you be right is because you're the God. See, first of all, who's Allah? Let's maybe we need to simplify that down too. See, Allah, right? This must have been was it a rough weekend this week or something? I think we had a rough weekend or something. All right, so when Jammy put I am arm leg arm supreme head. Jarrell Ballin said the Asiatic black man. Calm Islamly said Allah is the original black man with knowledge of himself. So the one thing y'all all said is just we're not talking about no mystery guy here. Yeah, I'm watching a little side rally over here. But yeah, so we know we're not talking about no mystery guy here. Right? So who's this? So get back to what I was saying, right? We know that we're not talking about a mystery God when we say why Allah CUB. Now, exact mathematics, you hit a little something here. Maybe I don't know if you want to it or not because I see it's been a rough weekend. You got the God I be. It said making the devil may feel good, but not be good for you. Taking the devil off the planet can feel discomforting initially, but there's a great reward. Okay, is there anyone else that can take the devil off the planet? Is there anyone else when it says to show forth and prove his power? Who do you share that power with? So Jammy Jam said emphatically now cypher calm Islam. He said no, it has to be the one who created him. Jarrell Ballin said only the God. So let me get this straight now. You're the only one who can take the devil off the planet. This is what y'all telling me, right? You're a woman. I don't know where that came from. So we did we get to that point where we agreed that you're the only one who can take the devil off the planet? Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you a question again. Why Allah CUB? Gabriel Borland said, unless perhaps the devil destroys himself. No, that's not in Yakub's law. Finally, Jammy Jam, to take the devil off the planet. The God Abi said you take the devil off the planet by building on the positive and dispelling the negative from within your cypher. So now let's go back. Who's the founder of this nation? What's his name? Right. Now, everybody said that the founder of this nation name is Allah. Whoa, with this Clarence 13X. Why Allah CUB? Why did Allah come and teach the babies, God? What is this sign right here, Asiatic mathematics? Nah, man. That's it. They go give me about to go get me a bean pie as soon as I'm finished here. Allah gave us the knowledge needed to take the devil off the planet. Now we getting someplace. Now we getting someplace. Whoa. And now we getting someplace. Allah gave us the knowledge needed to take the devil off the planet. Grapes. You know, I had today was one of the days. I couldn't even get a workout in like I wanted to because I couldn't eat today. But I had a little fruit salad or something. I had a little bit of doggy food. Can't eat out there today. It's too hot. But I think did we finally get somewhere with this? Is Luke Cage still in the room? Calm is lonely. Now, see, you're understanding what we're building on here now. Calm is lonely said he taught the babies that the original black man is God. Once that knowledge was made born, it begins the devil's destruction. That's why Allah CUB.
Peace.
Who's that?
Peace, dog.
What's going on?
Doing online classes?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. What's up? Ain't nobody coming through because of the corona and shit?
Well, this is on Mondays. Class. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
he got his own. He had his own people that's coming. I have my own people that come on Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. People might come because I don't give out the whole 120 no more. So, yeah.
Oh, they don't want to walk. They don't want to swim through that 120.
Things that change.
Right. They want to know the one-shot deal, huh?
Thomas Longley said you can't know who the devil is before you know who you be. Now, you're getting into the part that Supreme Man was saying. See, also in that degree, right, it said the power to make a devil which is weak and wicked. Who's the only person that the devil could have came from? The devil was made from the original people by grafting and separating the germs. So see, you have to be, in order for any of this to be lived out. But like somebody said earlier, in our own good time, right? We not here at that time. We not making it down. We building God. But I guess look, we're gonna have to have a whole other episode when we go into why Allah see the cypher beat. Cause y'all about to have to wind down in a minute, man. When y'all finish with me. I was born to say why Allah see you be, so you could be you. And now see, I'm telling you another thing. This is what I'm drawing up. See, every question that you see, whether it's in 120, whether it's just a question that you see, one brother might ask another brother that's not even you. For every one of them questions, you got to answer that for yourself. See, that's the reason why we don't got skunk in our lessons. That's the reason why we got father civilization in our lessons. That's the reason why our 6th degree is our 6th degree and our 7th degree is our 7th degree. Because when Allah looked at those questions and asked him of himself, right? That's what he saw. That just like we were saying, we've been going through, the devil came out of us. So if the devil came out of us and he's a skunk, right? Like Supreme Man said, it started from what's inside our body. So if he's a skunk, that means that somewhere inside our body gotta exist a skunk. So see, each one of them questions, like let me tell you something. Every day, right? When you're supposed to be every day, you're answering the question, have you not heard that your word
bond, regardless of whom and what. Every day you answering them. And see, when you live it out, when your words, right, match your actions, then you answering that yes. My word is bond, and bond is life, and I will give my life before my words shall fail. But when you the sad person and you bullshit, then your answer is emphatically no. Every day you answering that question. Every day you answering the question, who is the original man? For the people that's amongst you, see, the people who got children that's old enough, the people who, you know what I'm saying, you got a black woman that got this knowledge of self. She don't know nothing about, our brother that passed away in June 13, 1969. The only Allah she knows is you. See, for your children, when they say who's the original man, then whoever that is in the lessons of art and all that, they know you. So when the question comes up, who's the original man, you gotta answer that. Not just verbally on the paper, because remember what I said, man, talking it is just practice for walking it. Who's that? See, let's start locking this down. You can't.
Black Seed.
Yeah.
What's his name?
You can't.
Yeah.
Mr. Green one said, I keep my word bond all the way to the molecule. But all of those questions, look, when you get to the knowledge degree in the 114, are you really keeping the devil on the worst part? Or are you keeping the devil right there on the best part with you? Or are you going over there on the worst part with the devil and dabbling with him? Peace. You out.
Yeah, worry. Yeah, worry.
Huh? Hold on, let me complete the class. Yeah. So by the same token, you know what I'm saying, when you walking outside every day, while I see you be is the question that you answer by what you doing. Sound got choppy again. You see what happens? So you know how the brother first manifested that to me? He said, see, 120 questions is writing exact. You see, 120 answers, you got to answer that yourself. At the date of your writing, Jim give y'all an excellent question that's in 120. That if you don't know how to answer that for yourself, you're not going to be one of us for long. You said ever since the
the thing fell. I think it's time for me to. I gotta use my insurance or something. I got some kind of plan where I just tell them to give me a new jingle. I think it's reached that. I think it's reached that. Just that Dumont Justice came in and caused me to say, but Dumont Justice is new to the room. We from Dumont Justice. Welcome to the channel. So, are y'all hearing me? Well, let me try to reset this real quick. I'm good now. All right. But let me give you a question. I think I already asked. What is his own self? The ground cables. Hold on, let me see something.
All right, while that's resetting, we talk over here. But yeah, I think it's that time. All right, so Born Mecca, that's Baltimore, right? Yeah, what happened to the bar? We ain't see the bar, Righteous the bar. Now it's Born. When last time you talked to the bar? All right, now see, Halftime and Jarrell Boylan said his own self is a righteous Muslim. That's Elijah's answer. See, this is where you get into the fine line of, are you a practitioner of Elijah's teachings or a follower of Elijah? See, Qarmis Lumley said his own self is the God. God Cypher Divine said his own self is a righteous God. Oh, all right, yeah, no doubt. You talked to the bar today, that's peace. You see what I'm saying? So that's a question right there that you got to be able to answer for yourself and know how you see yourself within that degree. He said, would I answer those questions different than Elijah? Yeah, there's a couple of questions that I would answer different from Elijah. Not saying that Elijah was wrong, but if you ask me who's the 5%, I may not give you, I'm probably not going to give you the same answer Elijah gave you. See, all throughout it, don't forget, like I said, the degrees we got is the ones that Allah answered, and we got his answers. For instance, would I have said the meaning of civilization is one having wisdom and knowledge and understanding? No, I would have answered that different than Elijah. Qarmis Lumley brings up a good point right here. Tells you in the degrees, they were answered very near correct. It's up to us to draw it up. The God I be says, so who's the 5%? If I answered the question, who's the 5%, I probably would leave out the otherwise. Probably would leave out the otherwise. See, because you gotta remember, everything is the day and time that you living in too. See, like we discussed earlier, right? You know, yeah, Elijah is a Mason. See, I don't have that history. Why didn't Elijah say, you know, the 5% is the Egyptians? Why he didn't, you know, say the 5% is, you know, why he didn't include the people of Timbuktu and all this other stuff? Because those wasn't the people that was teaching during his time. And during my time, I ain't never see the Masons not outside teaching like we teach. You need dudes to be in there. Talking about poor, poor righteous teachers. Now that's not how the Masons get down. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how the Masons get down. The God I.B. said, I read a bill that Elijah said he would have answered the questions differently as he grew over the years. You see? I didn't even read that. But like I said already, you got to answer it at the date of your writing. See, what's the year one? Hold on for a second. Let me make the switch up. We're gonna bring the picture. So we back. Y'all can hear me, right? What's the year one? Universal Truth say you got to know how the questions are being asked. Yeah, you got to speak the language. God's like the Divine said, in answering that question, who's the 5%, would you answer they are, etc., or we are? You know, that's a good point you made right there. And you know, I hate to, but listen, in some of my more competitive days, when I was younger, I have brought that point up to members of the NOI. that Elijah answered that they are, and not we are. Universal Truth said nobody gets 120 with near correct quotes. You got to quote it as it was given. Answering from understanding comes later. No, it says it's answered very near correct in the Culture Cypher degree. Right now, Master Student said the year one was 1964. Correct. Now, Halftime said the year one is 2019. Now, why did you say the year one is 2019? All right, so Halftime said he said the year one is 2019 because that's when he got Supreme Mathematics. Both of you, Halftime and Master Student, is 100% right, exactly. See, year one
for this nation is 1964. You understand what I'm saying? That's when the law of the world came to be manifest. But the year one, everybody's writing their own history. Who made the Holy Quran a Bible? So in the history that you writing, the year one is 2019. So now, from the date of your writing, is it still approximately 60 years ago? Is it still 2,197,351 days? That's why I said don't change Elijah's answers, because his answers is at the date of that writing. And it being manifest at that time in that way, right, is extremely important in order for you to get that understanding. God said, Devon said, trust me, me and Knowledge Born and Brilliant had a whole build on that. I saw that as causing a separation between him and the 5%. I mean, I don't think it caused the separation. You know, Calm is on. He said, very near, correct becomes right and exact when you apply the degrees to your lived experience. Halftime said, I was taught that we all have our own history. Master student said, expand on that. Like I said earlier, what is that? See, I gotta remember y'all typing. See, if we was just talking, then it'd be easier. It would be easier for me to understand. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he really caused a separation. You know, I look at it more like I explained, just when you deal with understanding in general. You know what I'm saying? In order for the understanding to grow, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, one of the characteristics of civilization, right, is that we pass on knowledge. And we pass on knowledge, and that knowledge continues to grow and develop in the understanding, right? But the understanding has to break out of the confines, right, of what the knowledge and wisdom. You know what I mean? Like you got to come outside of your mother's stomach in order for you to grow to your fullest potential. See, if a seed falls from the tree, right, or if a seed don't fall from the tree, then it ain't never gonna plant no root. And then even if it do fall from the tree, but it falls right under the tree to where it's in the shade of the tree, it can't get its own light and grow to its fullest potential. So in order for us to grow to our fullest potential, we have to separate. Look, that's why Fawn had to be out. Whatever happened to him, I don't care what you say. Because he's not one of us. He's not from here, man, in Wilson, North America, the people who this knowledge was brought to in order to what? Be the only ones who can take the devil off our planet. In order for the NOI to grow and develop the way it did, right? In order for Elijah to come into his full fruition as the teacher that he was, right? He had to, him and Elijah, I mean, him and Fuad, he can't just be up under him. See? Now look what happened to Malcolm. See, he never could get out from under Elijah. See? When he went out and spoke, Elijah silenced him. When he tried to do his self-style wisdom, when he tried to do his self-style wisdom, he silenced him. You see, Allah had to do his self-style wisdom. Look, I got to go over here. You know, y'all down there on 5th Ave and be over here on 7th Ave. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily that it caused a separation. You know what I'm saying? You know, or I would say that, you know, it caused the separation in the same way that, you know, like I said, you know, you had to come out of your mother in order for you to come to the full fruition of yourself. You know what I mean? You know, or, you know, you gotta, you know, move into an adult life, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, you might move far away from your parents or whatever, but that's how you form, that's how you, you know, write your history. You know what I'm saying? And without doing that, you're never gonna write your own history. So the guy IB said is Malcolm a traitor. Now listen, first of all, let's be clear. We from the tree of Malcolm. We from the tree of Malcolm, man. Malcolm, right, was, hold on for a second, let me bring Supreme Man in.
Peace.
Malcolm, peace. You know, we got Elijah, right? Malcolm, who was the head minister in Temple Number 7 when the law went in there. And then it's the law, and then it's us. So we from the tree of Malcolm. I love Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things Malcolm was saying was false. And he knew they was false. You understand what I'm saying? You know, now recently I just heard a brother told me that at the time in the 60s, right? That when you walked into the mosque, there was pictures of all kinds of right. It was pictures of all kinds of Muslim, Caucasian, Arab, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? See, anything that he went over there and said that he seen, dude, that's not Elijah's teachings. It had to come from the east over here to the west in order to be the best. So, you know, a lot of stuff he was saying, yeah. You know, but in terms of you saying a traitor, you know, he's not a traitor to me because I'm not NOI. You understand what I'm saying? You know, to me, you know, that's the brother that, you know, he's from our tree, man. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and he had some you know, discrepancies with the NOI. You know, look, I'm not hugely friendly with the NOI either. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of, I think it was like last month. You know what I'm saying? There was a brother who was what was his name? Hafiz?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. That he returned. I didn't know. You know, I see a lot of 5%. Yo, he was all peace. Listen, man, I don't go with it. You know what I'm saying?
He talking about Kevin Muhammad.
Right.
Khalid who? Khalid
Not
Kevin Muhammad. He had another name though. He was a guard in Canarsie before he joined the Nation of Islam. He was actually taught by Father Divine.
Oh, and so that's what he was doing over there, talking that goddess stuff?
Right. He was there showing love for Father Divine, and that's when him and Freedom got into it. Cause
He
cause
came over there. All right, damn it. He came over there
cause
talking
it,
that goddess stuff.
right. Cause he got the knowledge from Father Divine. But the Nation of Islam don't even teach the goddess stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not Elijah teachings. You come over here and tell us that for. Go
See,
ahead. What you wanted to add on to?
I mean, it was a lot of things, but I'm gonna just talk about that for a minute. See, I always say that the Nation of Islam is the business of having knowledge of yourself. No disrespect at all, but you gonna add on economically to their cipher, or you're not gonna be a part of the cipher. So a lot of times when they say different things, it's for it's to have an open mindedness so an individual could join and add on to the cipher
Yo,
financially. What's that noise, yo?
yeah, talk.
Yeah, so I was saying like you gotta add on to their cipher. Like if you join the ranks, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I don't know. Peace, peace. Can you hear me yet? Peace, peace, peace.
Wait a minute. Say something.
Peace, peace, peace.
I hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying like the Nation of Islam is the business of having knowledge of yourself. It's a business. You got to add on in a business like manner. You gonna get some papers. You gonna get some pies. You gonna add on. If you don't add on, they're gonna cut you off. That's how it is. Now, as far as the brother asked, was Malcolm a traitor? You got to understand all the things that was going on with Malcolm at that time. He felt abandoned. So when he went over there to Mecca and all that, and they showing him love because he a celebrity, he didn't really, I ain't gonna say he forgot, but he kind of dismissed the degrees that he knew. You know what I mean? He and then he started getting more into the religion of Islam because he started the Muslim Mosque Inc. See, the religion of Islam is not really Islam. They practice Arab culture. You know what I'm saying? And the Arabs are elitists, just like the Zionists. Arabs are elitists. If you're not an Arab, you're not going to be treated as a full Muslim. My cousin belonged to the mosque out here, and they had a big problem with segregation in the mosque from the Arabs and the original people. So they just left that mosque, and the original people started their own out here. But they practice Arab customs. I said culture earlier, but it's Arab customs.
Mm-hmm.
Those customs are not Islam. They dealing with the Arab. The word Arab means a lord. So they feel like they're the lord over everybody on the planet. And if you're not an Arab, you are considered beneath that. And then a lot of people also get it twisted that everybody over there is a Muslim. They're not. You have Arab Christians because Arab is just a ode to a geographical location. It don't mean you're a Muslim because you're an Arab. You got to be an Arabic Muslim. So he got caught up in all of that. He got abandoned. He really did love Elijah Muhammad. But the powers that be within the Nation of Islam, as well as COINTELPRO, was working against them ever uniting again. So then he just started, running off at his mouth a little something. And those two entities that I just mentioned, also agents within the self-proclaimed agents within the Nation of Islam. I don't know if y'all saw that documentary about who killed Malcolm on Netflix.
The Netflix one? I don't think I saw that one.
You got to see that one.
Who made it?
Yeah, the new one. I can't recall the dude's name. He's a Muslim dude, but he went to Newark and he found the killer of the gunman that killed Malcolm, and he was actually accepted and embraced in the Sunni Muslim community in Newark. And most of them, I ain't gonna say everybody, a lot of them in Newark knew he was the gunman.
I did that. At least I saw that excerpt. I don't know if I saw the whole thing, but I do recall seeing that.
You need to watch the entire thing. It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna check it out tonight.
Yeah, it's very informative. In terms of how Arab customs overcome sensibilities. Like when you become religious and you take everything from outside of you and put it somewhere else, you could easily be led in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this shows you that. You know.
Yeah,
so that's all. Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of things, even the Hajj is an Arabic custom.
Exactly.
That they've been doing that before. The way
Muhammad.
is kind of the way. But see, let me ask you that question as somebody that got more knowledge of it than me, right? Is it kind of like a thing where, like in Christianity, they absorb pagan customs in order to be able to recruit them into Christianity, or is there some other background to them doing that?
Well, in particular with the Hajj, it's not. The Hajj is an ode to the original man. That black stone represents me and you. And what every religion does once you get to the finite aspect of the religion, you have to go to the black man. There's no other way around it. If you get into the heart and soul of Buddhism, it's going to point to a black man. Christianity, the same thing, and Islam. Because you got to think. They teach that fucking stone fell from heaven. Now we know that's not right and exact. And in their sensibility, they say Allah threw a black stone from heaven. And if you're a real Muslim, you'll go around it 7 times, by the way, and then kiss it. And that makes you a true Muslim if you made the Hajj. That's one of the pillars of Islam. You have to make Hajj. That's why the Father taught us that Mecca actually was the mind. But once we began assigning geographical locations to the places that we were, of course, we're going to call Harlem Mecca because that's where the knowledge was first taught. But actually, the Father taught that Mecca was the mind, not no physical location. Because I could see that he foreseen that people would try to use that the same way people try to use that black stone over there to hold something above your head. And it's not like that. All y'all that's really getting into the knowledge, that's the main thing. Everything starts and begins and ends with you. That's what the God was saying earlier when he was saying your year one. I can't tell you nothing about your year one. See, our nation is a self-sustaining nation based upon the principles of supreme mathematics and supreme alphabets. Once you get them down to a science, 120 is the discipline and also the introduction to many schools of thought. But people outside our nation think that when a person learns 120, they become like a monk or a priest or something. Nah, we don't do that. It's like when you learn 120, all right, good. Here goes some more stuff to learn. I was building with a brother who will remain nameless. We know him. He told me, he said, the Chinese man is a devil. So I said, God. And the coach would agree in student enrollment. No, pardon me. Yeah. Coach agree in the student enrollment. Understand agree in student enrollment, pardon me. Is the Chinese man included in the 4,400,000,000? He said yes. He said yes. So I said, well, how can he be a devil if he's included in the 4,400,000,000?
Mm-hmm.
He just kept saying, such and such old God told me this. I just told Darkim who it is now when I said that. But such and such old God told me this. And I'm like, that's cool, God, but use your logic. See, that's the power that the Father gave us. That nobody just can't come along and tell us anything. Because we got to make you show and prove. Other schools of thought, once they said it, that's it. You can't even challenge it. But we're going to challenge you. This is what we do. You come around us and say something, you got to show and prove. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what y'all younger brothers that's gotten the knowledge. I heard a brother say his year one was last year. You got to accelerate your studying for the times that you're in. See, even when we got the knowledge, as much as we studied and walked around building, we didn't have the issues that y'all have. So y'all got to be even more on point. And y'all got to teach harder. And y'all got to take advantage of people want to know different things now because they see injustice played out in their face. Y'all got to teach that. You know? We ain't really had that problem. We walked down the street. By the time we got in 87 on the East Coast, it was already many, many brothers out. So like when I used to go to Brownsville and I get off the C train, I'm running into 4 or 5 different brothers. Then we walk into the store, it's 4 or 5 more brothers. And by the time I get to the brother who gave me knowledge building, in the lobby, it's 4 or 5 more brothers. And then when I go up to his apartment, 11E, it was 4 or 5 more brothers. And I'm getting drilled the whole time. Because I'm from New Jersey. And I'm going to put this out there. Guys from New York discriminate against guys from New Jersey. But it's okay, because we strong.
I'm here right now with the guy from
I know him. I know him. He's from New Kingdom. I know him. That's my brother. And he know that's true too.
Nah.
But it's okay. We strong though. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. You know, the stronger what you go through makes you the man that you are. So don't get afraid if you see a brother. Every time you see him, he questions you. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'll come now. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all I wanted to add on, man. You know, I'm a person that considers myself an expert on Malcolm. That's how I got the knowledge, really. I read that book for the first time when I was 11 years old. You know what I mean? And it stuck with me, even though my family was in the Nation of Islam. When I was a kid, I learned more really from reading about him than what my family was giving me, because 1975, when Elijah died, I was 6. So I really didn't start knowing nothing until later in the 70s. And that's when his son took over and turned everybody to Sunnis. So I was getting more Sunni stuff than hardcore Nation of Islam teaching, like under Farrakhan. And then I was happy because one brother I asked named Shali in Trenton High, I asked him for the knowledge. He told me I wasn't ready. But I'm happy I didn't get it from him. because he never knew 120. And trust me, when I did get the knowledge, I found his ass. And now we're gonna see who's ready. But just keep studying, man. Like y'all have a distinct advantage that we didn't. Y'all have information at your fingertips, but don't take that information on face value. I had to bomb somebody the other day about Google. Don't take it on face value. Research everything. So that's really it, God. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't been on here in a minute, man. I'm doing like 4 albums right now at one time.
I gotta, right now it's that the heat, man, has been stopping me, man. You know, once you turn all that equipment on, it gets super hot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta mix some joints down for you.
Yeah, and send that to the wizard too. But the wizard is terrible when returning phone calls. He's horrible.
Yeah, I think he hit me the other day, but I ain't sure.
Yeah, but we'll build about that. But yeah, man. Actually, my brother-in-law just came in the house, man. So I'm gonna have to go take peace and all that. How long you gonna be on here though?
Probably about another 30 minutes.
All right, willfully, man. I'll come back on here, man.
All right.
But I can't shit on homie. I'll build with y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.
Halftime right here says New York.
What's the deal?
I mean, that's how we
Tell me when you broke the peace sign, man.
that's how we see everybody else.
The light is greater here, God. The light is greater than that.
Man, that's what I mean, we never came up with like a formula. There's not really a formula for it, but it's definitely a known thing, and it's changing now. It's getting a whole lot better. But there was a time where it was just like, yo, the further you get away from New York City, the more people is off point. You know what I mean? Like you get now it's all on the businesses came in. Now it's getting much better. But just at one time, I mean, you gotta remember there was times, I think even into the 1990s, that there was places that the knowledge existed there, and it might even be a cipher of people, but nobody in that town or wherever that was, not one person had 120. Like not even on paper. Like they heard, like they might have had the 1 to 10 maybe, and they heard that it was other lessons, but they never seen them before. So there was a time when, you saw the brothers from other places like, oh man, we gotta have to teach. Halftime said, first weekend in the nation, day 2, the brother who introduced me to my educator told me stories of high school when he was slapping pork out of people's hands. The story was hilarious. I mean, yeah, that used to happen. Listen, I seen people get Twinkies slapped out their hands. I seen people. Listen, I see that many times. Say thought only in New York. I mean, it might have been only in New York, but like I said, the nation, man, before was a more military kind of training. All in the business said, Love Allah is the furthest point from Mecca going west from now on Arabia. But you know, LA was one of the first places that we was talking about that on one of my live streams on Instagram. That Born-in-Law was one of the first brothers that we met that was, you know, he was on point.
Yeah, yo, peace. What's up, man?
Peace, man.
Oh, peace, man.
Peace. Salim.
Born-in-Law from out there in LA. Oh, peace, right? He was one of the first brothers that we encountered that was like, you know, but at the time, you know, we was laughing at that on that particular stream, that he was like a space alien or something. Like, you from where? Like, we wasn't accustomed to hearing somebody say something, you know, past Pennsylvania, maybe. Holographic said, I was mad when I found out that Skittles had pork. Yeah, I seen the Skittles get slapped out of people's hands, you know. And then you gotta remember another thing. At one time, there was things that we thought was pork, like yellow number 5 and yellow number 6 and all this stuff. That Born-in-Law is from out here, but he didn't get the knowledge out here, did he? I never knew that. Yeah, all in the business. Yeah, you see, you what? They're all in the business. Yeah, you in the What Did I Miss crew. Yeah, you got to go back, man. Listen. We went down the rabbit hole. We went down the rabbit hole a while ago. We got back out though. Kareem said, hostess. At that time, we actually used to call them hostage cakes because they keep your brain hostage. Asiatic Mathematics said they remove pork from Skittles. They remove pork from a lot of things, you know, especially because you got to remember New York is a very big market, you know what I'm saying, for anything, just the amount of people that's here. So if we causing people not to eat it here, you know, they can't keep it in there because people in Tupelo, Mississippi want it. So, you know, it definitely, like, even right now, you know, you could go to the supermarket and get all this almond milk and all that stuff like that. That didn't exist when I got the knowledge. Yeah, you couldn't just go and get all this, you know, like now you got all these juice bars and vegetarian restaurants. That didn't exist when I first was getting the knowledge. Oh, all right. Oh, no, I didn't know he first got the knowledge out here. But see, that would explain it. The original man, our God said, both Born-in-Law from Love is from the same tree as divine seed. What you mean divine seed? Washington? Both our trees go back to El Nahim, who was taught by firstborn Black Messiah. See, I don't know about El Nahim. You know, El Nahim, I didn't say nothing to y'all, but I celebrated El Nahim's born day too. I don't know if y'all know when it is. But yeah, that was my G right there. And now 7 said, yes, it's way easier. It's way easier to eat healthy now. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, you got, you know, McDonald's got veggie burgers. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? All in the business said born of large lineage is the firstborn prince. Right, Washington, D.C. Wait, what is this? Did I miss some stuff? Holographic said, I just saw some porkless pork rinds. See, that's the type of stuff I don't be, uh, I had a science with a brother one time. You know what I mean? Where we was talking about cooking, and he started talking about using smoked turkey. That if you put the smoked turkey in the vegetables, it give it the same taste, like if you put pork in it. And at the time, I'm looking at the brother, and this was the brother, he had walked with Allah and everything. At the time, I'm looking at the brother like, yeah, but why would I want my food to taste like pig? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I? It tastes just like what? Yeah. And look, to this day, he turned me off with smoked turkey. Everybody be, you got smoked turkey in that? No, I don't want it. Hey, why would I want my food to taste like pig? Man, I never understood that shit. You know what I mean? He ended up falling victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead ass, man. But that was so that's what I'm saying. Like, porkless pork rinds. Why would I want to eat pork rinds, porkless or not? You know what I mean? You about to relapse, man. Jah God said to calm his lonely add on, I'm not familiar with that. The history that I know of deals with the family of Prophet Muhammad running the business of the Kaaba before and after Orthodox Islam, the Quraysh tribe. What Jagat is saying here is basically what I understand about it too, that that actually had a lot to do with Muhammad getting ran out of Mecca. Was that a lot of the changes he wanted to make was going to mess up the money that the Quraysh tribe was making. Shabborn Infinite said, my yellow seed told me about El Nahim. Comments only said, I don't even eat pig animal crackers. Oh, man. I think animal crackers had yellow number 5 or something. Oh, yeah, back in the days, we didn't fuck with animal crackers. That's why I'm like, animal crackers, I don't remember. Yeah, we didn't even deal with that back in the days, man. The wordsmith said, I don't understand why a vegetarian would want a veggie burger or veggie sausage. Why eat stuff like that when you got all these fresh fruits and whatnot? Yeah, that's I've seen that expressed by quite a few vegans that they don't eat they call it mock meats. They don't eat like vegetarian steak or vegetarian chicken.
Why would it be transformation? Transformation from the meats to
yeah. 793rd said McDonald's and other countries had veggie burgers for 10 plus years, as it just came into vogue recently here over the past few years. Well, downtown Manhattan, they've had it for 10 plus years. I don't know when it came, but I can't say they've had it for over 10 years. So Jah God said there isn't any record of present-day Mecca prior to the 8th century. All the ancient Arabs used to make pilgrimage to Petra in Syria. Now, this is what you're saying here. I know about this science too. About it's a certain part of the mosque. I think it's called a Qibla or something that is supposed to be pointing to the Kaaba. And the earliest mosques, right? They pointing to Petra in Syria, and then you got something that's pointing to Jerusalem. You know, but the thing is, now that may have an impact on whether it was the Quraysh tribe in particular. However, it's still an ancient Arabic custom and really don't have much to do with Islam. Original man, our God said he made knowledge born to us. He was taught by El Nahim, and one of our firstborns, I unique in him, share stories of him. After learning, we have the same tree. So very third. So you got to watch the sodium that's in the specialty spots. That's in the mock meats. Have time says some people become vegan later than others too, so there's more to unlearn than with others. You know, that's another thing that you know, to me, I don't, maybe other people, but I saw that coming on in the 90s, like all the vegan stuff. It wasn't, I can't think of anybody that was vegan before, like I first started hearing people talk about that in like 92, like 92, 93. And then it became a thing where it's like, you got a certain segment of the population that, veganism, they wouldn't put veganism in the knowledge God degree. You know what I'm saying? What is the meaning of civilization? You got cats that want veganism to be in there.
Caribbean island brothers and sisters.
Right, yeah. It did come, yeah. Halftime said there was a wave of hipsterism in Chicago that lasted about 10 years, and now it's everywhere. We talking about veganism? So Jah God said at one time in the early history, the Muslims' holy day was Saturday, and the Qibla was Jerusalem. Yet to keep that family money flowing, it eventually changed to Friday worship, and the Qibla was switched to Mecca. 793rd said vegetarian or so-called will mess around and catch a heart attack, swelling joints, or a heat stroke eating mock meats. Yeah, man. You know, see, for me, I'm gonna tell you something. The jury's still out on veganism. You know, like you know, I need to see these vegans that live to be 150. Of course, by then it'd probably be too late for me to make. You know what I'm saying? It'd be too late. Peace. Oh, what's going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know, by that time it'd probably be too late for me to make a change. But you know, that's kind of what I need to see. What's your deal, black man? In the dark. Well, what happened to the light?
Still got it, man. But that ratio.
See, you know, like I was telling the brothers, you know, one thing you gotta remember, man, is that hell exists. You see what I'm saying? And that's something, man, that you're gonna go through. You see what I'm saying? The key, man, is to love yourself through the hell. You understand what I'm saying? To when we say I sincerely love the law of mathematics, see, because that's how you make it out right. You understand what I mean? But you gotta remember that, you know, you know how they say the early bird catches the worm? See what I'm saying? You know, uh, uh, uh Senator Firstborn Prince told me. He said, you know, just the same way you wake up every morning to do what you're going to do and accomplish what you're going to accomplish, is somebody that wake up every morning to stop you. And it's about which one of y'all get the other one first. You understand what I'm saying? It's about who's the most determined. You see what I mean? So there's going to be, as long as you exist, right? And know that you God and carry yourself as God, is going to be challenges. But see, you got to remember, hurdles is not there to stop you. They're there for you to get over it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, in terms of that, you know, everything that you go through is going to be some trials and tribulations involved. You understand what I'm saying? But never forget that you got to show forth and prove who you are. You see what I'm saying? And whatever that darkness is, you could conquer that in one day. Now, one thing you got to do, right, is when you're doing whatever you're doing, wherever you at, whatever's going on, you got to always remain building. See, because building is how you keep the darkness off you. See, when you start building, right, the people who's not about building, they're gonna say, yo, here come that God body nigga, man. He gonna talk that shit. Let's get out of here. And the people who, you know, they really the God, but they just haven't been exposed to the knowledge. They never had it presented to them. Then they gonna be attracted to you, and then the light is gonna increase. You understand what I'm saying? But you just gotta realize that, you know, this is a part, you know, it wouldn't be in the lessons if it wasn't a part of reality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, heaven is only what you make it. You understand what I'm saying? Hell can be what you make it, but it could also be what somebody else make for you. You understand what I'm saying? You've been studying your degrees.
Little on and off. I got it 2 days ago. Just the 110.
Well, yeah, that's one of the main things. You gotta, you know, stay in tune with your degrees, because see, you know, in North America, right? We in a society that's inside of society. Like we immersed, our culture is immersed within this mainstream culture. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't stay on point with your culture, you can easily just blend in with all the other people. You understand what I'm saying? And one of the ways that, you keep your boundaries established, you know what I'm saying, is with your sword. You understand what I'm saying? Through building, you keep your boundaries established. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you always gotta apply your knowledge and wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? See, sometimes people get caught up and they start applying wisdom and knowledge, but you gotta apply your knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And see, sometimes what that means, right, is it means having to have discipline. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, we got a lesson, right, that says a civilized person is somebody who's not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. A savage is a person who has lost the knowledge. You understand what I mean? So what that means is always keep in mind who you are and what you about, what your principles is and everything in all your endeavors. You see what I'm saying? In order for you to come out right. But you definitely, the key, right? Or one of the keys that you already demonstrated is you came here. See, that's the difference between a person who never had the knowledge, right, and us. Is that no matter what happens, right, we know where one is. We know how to take it back to the foundation and build it all the way up. You understand what I'm saying? To the highest levels of seven. You see what I'm saying? The people who never knew, those are the people that get stuck in hell. You see what I'm saying? But stay on point with your lessons, you know, stay on point with, building the people around you. And, you got to remember that you got to be an asset to yourself in order for you to be an asset to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Just like where it say self is savior, you got to save yourself before you can save others. That's the first thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing, see, this is not our lesson, right? The 12 Jews, but look at the 12 Jews. Now, you study your lessons, whatever, you're dealing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? But what about freedom, justice, and equality? Do you have freedom, justice, and equality the way you see it? And I ain't just talking about, esoterically, mentally, I'm talking about like, look, a person can have all the knowledge in the world, but if they sit in the jail cell, then they ain't got all their freedom. You understand what I'm saying? You know, do you have freedom, justice, and equality? You know what I'm saying? Do you have food, clothing, and shelter? You know what I'm saying? All of these is basic. These are the basic things that you need. Just this is survival, and then from there you could build. So you got to think about all that. Are you just being idle? What you doing during the day now? You going to school or you working? All right. How long you been working there? For a month. Yeah, well, you gotta give things time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn from all the lessons. See, because when you see the lessons, right, that we study, this is the experience of many people over thousands of years. And it's all written down in the lessons so that you could be able to reflect on it, right? And they say a fool can learn from his own mistakes, but a wise man can learn for somebody else's mistakes. See what I'm saying? So, you know, you got the lessons in that example, but now you also got your own experience in that example. You know what I mean? So, positive elevation, always correct errors. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do too. You gotta shut everything out. You understand what I'm saying? Until you deal with self, and then you can save others. See what I mean? Because if you're drowning, you can't save other people that's drowning. What's the signs though? You had any particular questions?
Not exactly, man. Just reaching out.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You got to be amongst your A likes. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why we have the cypher. You understand what I'm saying? And all those things. We put our heads together. It could be something that you're dealing with that somebody has the solution. You know what I'm saying? But if we never coming together, you know what I'm saying, you're only amongst, you know, strangers where even if they have the solution, they don't really have the motivation to help you out with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something you gotta do, you know, when and it's more difficult now because you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? See, when I got to know I was a kid, so we hanging out every day. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We go to school together. At the school, we maintain over here together. We maintain over there together. You know, we play ball together, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? You know, now you're a little bit older, you don't got time for that, but in the times that you do have, you know what I'm saying? That's something to charge you up. See, Yakub's law was unlike a track, a like a pal. See, our law is like a track. You see what I'm saying? And unlike repel. You know what I'm saying? And just like magnetism is a form of power. You understand what I'm saying? When we deal with that magnetism between ourselves, you know what I mean? That increases our power. You know what I'm saying? When we building with each other, we, expressing knowledge, wisdom. We back to the phone ringing again, man. Who? Yeah, I'm saying this person, that's like a Michigan number. That's like a Michigan number. I hate that phone. I'm gonna have to unplug it. But yeah, that's the move right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? My brother. So what y'all got on these side rallies going on in here? Yeah, this is a lot of side rallies.
Class coming up. Class about to go on.
Yeah, we just actually the end of it right now. I'm about to ask them if they got any last questions here. I see they was having their own little side rally. But yeah, we at that point. Cause and then this brother, he got me frustrated today when I was trying to take my break before class started. And he come talking to me about some nonsense too. I was like, yo, you wasted my last 20 minutes, y'all. I'm trying to be prepared, man. But yeah, I got a whole other class I got to do tomorrow. Before the year of the elephant, Mecca was controlled by Axum. I didn't catch that one. Serious mathematics. So I guess if nobody has any other questions, you know, everybody that made it this far with me in the live stream, do the each one teach one, hit the like button, share this on your Twitter and Facebook accounts. You know, anybody that's new to the channel, subscribe. Yeah.
I'm out.
All right. So, where's you King?
Huh?
Where's you King?
You with me?
Ask him if he still got to talk to me.
Huh?
Ask him if he still got to talk to me. Yeah, anybody that you know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you want to know when the lives is coming off, you know, hit the notification button. You know what I'm saying? Jam Jam. This is actually some quite important here. You actually was right the first time when you said when you put gods. It's really God and Earth. What's the deal? You still need to see me?
Huh?
You still need to see me?
Yeah, we want. Come here.
Hold on, I'm coming out right now. So yo, peace everybody. I might come on early, I ain't sure, but if anything, you know you're gonna see me tomorrow at yeah, same black time, same black channel. You know what I'm saying? Hotep in effect. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.